One bad review. Why the brain believes the worst things said about you. You can be standing in the middle of your own highlight reel, a promotion, a sold out event, a loving family, a LinkedIn inbox full of congratulations. And all it takes is one bad review to torch it all. It could be a comment on your appearance, a snide remark about your competence, a partner saying you are fat. And suddenly, the hundreds of good things in your life collapse like a house of cards, leaving just that one sentence in the middle of an empty room. You don't remember the standing ovation, you remember the one person who didn't clap. This isn't because you are weak, it's because your brain is wired to believe it. This is Anthropologically Yours, and I am Rashmi, and let's talk about the psychology of the one bad review today. So, psychologists call it negativity bias. It's the brain's love affair with negativity, the tendency to register and dwell on negative information more strongly than the positive. From an evolutionary standpoint, it made sense. Noticing a predator's growl was more important than remembering yesterday's sunshine. But in modern world, this survival wiring becomes sabotage. Dr. Roy Baumeister's research at Florida State University found that bad experiences have 4 to 7 times the impact of positive ones on our emotions and memory. That's why a glowing performance review with one needs improvement line feels like a personal obituary. It's not your fault, it's neurology. So when work turns that bias into a weapon. In corporate life, performance reviews and 360 feedback sessions are supposed to help you grow, but in practice, they often become a magnifying glass for your flaws, real or imagined. I once worked with a senior leader who had been celebrated for years for her ability to unite cross-cultural teams. One year in a review, a peer wrote, "She dominates meetings." That single comment made her withdraw, speak less, and second-guess herself in every boardroom. It took less than 3 months for her to lose the very presence that made her valuable. Data backs this up. Gallup's research shows that employees who receive primarily negative feedback are 20 times more likely to be actively disengaged at work. And the worst part, the comment doesn't have to be accurate. It just has to be believable enough to stick. I'll give you some celebrity proof to believe it. Even the most successful people in the world, the ones who live in the Hollywood mansions, break records and are adored by millions, crumble under the weight of criticism from their inner circle. Madonna, we all know her, we all love her, who has reinvented pop culture multiple times, admitted that private remarks from partners about her age or body hurt her more than any tabloid headline. Lady Gaga has spoken about breaking down in tears after a boyfriend called her too dramatic, despite performing to sold-out stadiums that same week. Angelina Jolie, humanitarian, Oscar winner, mother, my favorite, has said that some of her deepest self-doubt came not from the critics but from people she loved, questioning her choices. And men are no different. Will Smith, Robert Pattinson, Johnny Depp, all globally desired, all with careers that have survived decades and is historic. Have some been still rattled by what was whispered in the privacy of a living room? Yes. Because here's the thing, a bad review from a stranger questions your work. A bad review from someone who you love questions you. They are all same. It's the difference between graffiti on your wall and a crack in your foundation. One you can paint over, the other threatens the whole structure. So why we keep believing the worst? It's not just biology, it's conditioning. From childhood, most of us were rewarded for fixing mistakes, not for celebrating wins. Schools put red ink on wrong answers, not gold stars on correct ones. Families remembered the one time you embarrassed them at a wedding more than dozens of times you made them proud. By adulthood, we have internalized a silent formula. Praise is polite, criticism is the truth. And so, even with 1,000 compliments, we hunt for the outlier, the one person who didn't applaud. So what's the anthropology of the bad review? Across cultures, public shaming has been one of the oldest tools for social control. In medieval Europe, the stocks were a literal platform for bad reviews. In tribal communities, exclusion from the group was often preceded by public criticism to justify it. Even today, social media operates like a digital village square, and single viral tweet can cancel years of work. And because our survival once depended on group approval, our brains still process these moments as threats to our existence. So, what to do about it? How do you stop one bad review from rewriting your whole story? Create a reality portfolio. Keep a running record of your wins, saved emails, kind messages, performance highlights. When one comment threatens to take over, pull it out like receipts of your own worth. Name the source. Ask yourself, do I want this person's voice in my head? Not all critics deserve to be on your editorial board. Nope. Chuck them out of your life, off your board, off your socials. Check the ratio. If 49 people praised you and 1 criticized you, the data is clear. Do not let your brain run junk statistics. Believe the 49 who praised you. Rewrite this story. Instead of, they said I am too much, try, they prefer less. I am not less. I am more than they can take in. Your review is not your reality. At every moment, somewhere, someone is making that face about you. The smirk, the frown, the bored blink. They have made it about Madonna. They have made it about Lady Gaga. They have made it about Angelina Jolie. But here's the truth. The review that matters most is the one you give yourself. You are your biggest and most important critic. If you can keep that review fair, rooted in reality and balanced between compassion and accountability, you can win in places where even global icons have failed. If you are afraid to be critical with yourself, that's the only important error worth considering. Because once you stop holding your own mirror, the world will gladly hand you a funhouse version instead. So one bad review is just that one review that you have to ignore. It's not your biography, it's not your legacy, and it sure as hell is not the truth unless you decided to make it so. I am Rashmi, and this was Anthropologically Yours. Until next time, remember, the loudest voice in the room should be yours.